Her question is, she's a doctor and she works with newborns and mothers. And then so often they find that after a year or year and a half, the children seem to have, sometimes, of course, rare, hopefully, disorders like autism or speech delay and so on. Is there anything we can do to help as society or as doctors? I guess there's a fair bit of research that's happening about autism in particular. It's been going on for this 3 or 4 decades. It's an issue that's pretty close to my heart as well. And I used to sponsor an organization big time when I was back in Sydney for autistic children. How can we help? I think the only thing we can really do, other than, of course, research and finding out what could be the cause of it or what else can be done to help these children and their parents, is to build a support system. Whereby there is acceptance that it is a challenge, and then how do we deal with that challenge by providing the right resources. That's really the starting point. If you see in all the developed countries, for example, if you are physically disabled, it's much easier still to access pretty much all the facilities you can possibly imagine. I mean, the physical, getting on a bus, on a train, accessing a government website, a site in general, physical, or even crossing the road. You are fully independent even if you're physically disabled. But in India, even if you're fully able, it's a challenge to do such things. So they have really valued human life in degrees where we can only dream of doing so in the next 30 or 50 years or even 100 years. So what we really need to do is build a support system around it, so that it's of course hard for the autistic child, but it's even harder for the parents and the loved ones around, because you do care because they are your own children, but it gets very tiring because each day is a new day and it's a never-ending story. And the greatest fear then parents have is, who's going to look after my child when I'm not there? And that's a fear they live in day and night, each moment of their life. So as society, as a nation, as fellow human beings, what we need to do is to do our bit so that we can make it a better place for such parents and children, of course. I think beyond that, there is very little we can do. That's my answer.